I can't do it.
Okay, so some people. What the hell? I can't. You have to.
Let me fall! Sometimes I can't see how I can make it through another day. But I'm here, I am for to see a little I am in this world, but together we can make a difference. We can make a chance.
This is Jeremiah with the Meet KC Music, and I'm here with Shane from Everything in Slow Motion. Say hey, Shane.
Hey, Jeremiah.
You're supposed to say hi to them.
Hi. Hey.
All right, some people might be unfamiliar with Everything in Slow Motion being in Kansas City. Can you give us a brief overview of the journey and what brought you here?
Yes, my wife Holly, who you know,
Right.
and grew up with in your guys' crazy, weird house full of weird dudes doing weird things.
Ruffians. That sounds weird.
It does. But yes, she's from here, so after we got married and I was touring a bunch and everything else, we decided to just relocate here. And we've been back and forth between here and Fargo, but have ultimately settled here. So
Nice.
here we are, going on a year now.
That's awesome. So we're actually not going to talk too much about backstory beyond that because Shane actually just did a podcast with As the Story Grows. So
Wonderful podcast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Wonderful.
I've actually listened to it. It's about an hour long, but I'll have the link for that in the bio. So definitely check it out so you can get the background story, everything from the very beginning through If I Die, chapters and verses.
The whole thing.
All the way up to Everything in
The
Slow
whole
Motion.
works.
So with that being said, we're actually going to talk about from here on out. So Lay Low actually just came out this week. So how does it feel?
Feels awesome. Every time you release a record, it feels really, really good because you work your butt off on it for a long time. And
You know it's awesome, but you can't wait for people
my
to hear it.
records stress me out a lot. So, because I never write the lyrics until I like have to sing them, which is hell. It's a hard process, man. It's really, really stressful. And the weeks leading up to the record are insane, and I start to question whether I should do the record or not.
Right.
And get ready to make the phone calls to cancel. And for some reason, I keep pushing through. And once the record is out, it feels fantastic. And then someone starts talking about the next record.
Right.
So, hey, here we are.
And this is how many? What's this? How many EPs is this or records? I guess.
For Everything in Slow Motion, there's been 2 EPs and 1 full length. So I wanted to put out an EP this time just to kind of experiment and try some new things. And so I've got a full length coming up next then to hopefully expand on the whole thing, the whole sound.
The sound you're going for now.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And it seems like people have been really receptive to it. Kind of.
I think so. Where's the screaming? Why
Yeah.
is there no screaming? Where'd it go? Yeah. So, anyways.
It's not too much different. Though. We just talked about the other day. The day it came out, I heard a guy blaring it with the windows down.
That was awesome.
Going downtown on 18th and McGee,
Yeah.
and was just rocking out, singing the words Tacoma. So
That's really random. And it was really
pretty
cool,
nuts.
though.
All right, and then something I'm as equally stoked for is a CD release show coming up, which is almost a week
It's
away.
coming up. Yeah. We just started rehearsing for it now.
Right.
So, it's going to be great. It's May 6th, Davies Uptown, Kansas City, with My Epic, longtime label mates on Face Down. Known those guys for a long time, and their CD actually releases on that day, too. So, we're doing kind of a double release show. They also put out an EP, or are putting out an EP, and it's really freaking good.
How do you pronounce it?
Viscera?
I thought so.
Maybe.
I don't know. You figure it out.
Yeah, Google it and then do the speech thing. Highlight it in speech and see what happens. Viscera. I don't know.
So next Friday. So with that being said, though, if you're out of town, I definitely grab a bunch of friends and make it out and make the trip.
Damp is playing.
Damp is playing.
Damp. Tell us how you got the name.
I can't tell you that. I don't want to put this in jeopardy of not being posted.
Hey, good friend and friends in Damp,
Right.
and then Existum is
Yeah,
playing,
another
and
one.
then Cool Dudes, and then a band that's on tour with My Epic right now called Come Wind. I had never heard of him, and I just checked him out the other day, and it is like freaking really cool. And I hope we don't have to play after them because they would make us look terrible. So
I'm pretty sure you're gonna play after.
they're really freaking good, man. So
You're screwed.
when a band brings up like an extra drum on stage, like a big bass drum, like kind of Mute Math does, you know you're in trouble.
Like Slipknot.
It means they mean business. Yeah, like Slipknot.
Then you're definitely in for a
Absolutely.
beating.
Yeah, in for a brutal beating.
So I already know the answer to this question, but I have to ask it for everyone else. So for Everything in Slow Motion, you write and record most of the album by yourself, correct?
Yeah, it's been that way in the past, and which is fun. I mean, I like when I hear the ideas in my head, I know what to do, you know. And I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but it's what I want to do. So it's easy for me to kind of execute that and do that, and it's fun. And then this EP, like I said, I was trying to just do different things, so and kind of make myself uncomfortable, which was the whole goal. Is like, I don't want to be comfortable. I don't want to know it's going to be good. I don't want to resort to things I normally do.
Right.
Let's just see how scared I can get with this thing. And so I brought in some other ears to kind of change things up.
And you're definitely not a guy that puts out the same CD twice, so.
Yeah, I'd be really upset if that actually happened.
Right.
So if it just sounded like the last thing, I'd be really mad. So keep
Right
guessing.
So
diversion scene, Fargo, North Dakota.
Wow.
Anyways, had to get that pitch.
Shout out.
Yeah.
But who did you actually record Laid Low with?
Jay Hall out of Nashville, Tennessee. He's
Right
a good dude. Good dude, fantastic producer.
And did you have any guest artists on the album like you did for Phoenix?
I didn't have anybody like do like special vocals or anything like that, but I did bring in my friend Miles McPherson to play drums. So that was awesome. Man, like, talk about wanting to change the game and change your songs, like bring in a different drummer and everything twists. So that was fun.
Instead of just a one part in one song, it's under everything.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, I'm so used to hearing my songs with my drums and my ideas, so to give those songs to someone else with a totally different vision and different ear on it and have them do something completely different than what you planned is a weird experience. And with Miles, he made it a wonderful experience because the dude is he's a freak. So.
Yeah, he's killer. I saw that drum video.
Yeah, so every part that he wrote was like way cooler than anything I had planned. So I was very excited. Yeah.
So the rumor has it, is it true that you try to convince Miles to use a snare drum that Lars Ulrich used on Saint Anger?
False.
That's too bad. Give us a little more. So how was your experience working with Jay and Miles? Because this is your first time working with either one of them, right?
Very true, yeah. Well, I guess I worked with Jay a little bit on Phoenix. He was mixing the album, and then I've worked with him once before doing a record for my friend Rick Todd.
Okay.
Which, check that record out. It's freaking awesome. Rick Todd, Fargo, North Dakota. Awesome. I'm just throwing in these pitches because it's a great record. But anyways, but yeah, I hadn't really like worked with Jay, like him and I just kind of creating music and doing things like that. So it was awesome because I had no idea what to expect. So, I mean, I know like Jay, I knew Jay was awesome and was talented and was a good producer and had a good ear for everything, but I'd never heard him do anything like my stuff.
Right.
And I just didn't know. So I was just kind of putting faith in him to get the job done, and he freaking hit it out of the park. So it was a really good experience and pushed me to a lot of different levels and things that I probably wouldn't normally go to. So it was great.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have a couple interviews that we did with Jay and Miles, so we could hear more about how how it worked out with Shane in the recording process. So check it out.
Shut up!
Good morning and Merry Christmas.
Is this thing on? Is it on?
Question 1. What's the best and worst thing about working with Shane? Well, I would say the best and worst thing are kind of the same thing in that Shane's a drummer, obviously a really good drummer, and he had parts for the record that I never got to hear. And so I knew that he had something in mind as far as what he wanted for these songs, because that's what he does. He writes songs and then he plays drums on them. And so it was great because I got to just kind of come up with parts, and we obviously collaborated on stuff based on kind of where my head went. And never once did he compare it to what he initially had. And so the best and worst part about that was that it was really cool that he just kind of let us go in whatever direction we took the songs in, but at the same time, the insecure part of me in the back of my mind is thinking, well, he's not bringing up his parts because he is just being nice and he hates everything that we've done, and he's just going to go back and replace it all. But I don't think he did.
The best thing working with Shane is simply working with Shane. Well, no, the best thing would be the hugs and high fives. He's incredible. Incredible hugs. You just feel the love every day. Every morning we start with a hug, and then we wrap every day up with a high five, and I sleep at night because it's amazing. The worst thing working with Shane is his mustachio. His mustachio has the worst attitude of all time. Like, we try to get stuff done, and his mustachio is constantly like, no, 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 do it again, rah, 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 rah. And it's like, rah, 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 rah. Makes it really hard to play guitar, makes it hard to produce. Like, that is the worst. And Shane's a really bad procrastinator, and he showed up with no lyrics and only some of the melodies written. So don't do that, kids.
Okay. What is your favorite song off the album and why? I would probably have to say Coma, just because that was a really fun part to play, and it was cool because I've never played a part like that before, where we actually removed the ride, stuck the hi-hat over there, and did that pattern. But it was cool because the second he played me the verse of that song, it just was like, oh yeah, that's what I have to do. I've got to take the stupid ride away and put the hi-hat over there and play this dumb tom part. That song kind of rules.
My favorite song on the EP, that's like asking a person who their favorite kid is. It's like, that's not a fair question. I worked on this EP top to bottom with Shane. I shaped it. I worked with him, the two of us, every day, trying new things, experimenting, letting the songs tell us what they needed, what wasn't working, what wasn't right, what was working, writing lyrics together, developing melodies. It's like, you can't ask me to pick. You can't make me choose. They're all my favorite.
Any quick funny stories from the making of Laid Low? Well, I'm pretty sure we played BB Gun Horse in the studio, which is my favorite pastime. And if we didn't do that on this record, we did it with Shane some other time, and I can't remember what it was. But BB Gun Horse is probably not something that you should play in a studio. But essentially, you take a shot and say you want to shoot, but it has to be there has to be multiple things. So like, you bank it off one of the toms into the wall into a snare case that's on the floor. And somebody has to take the same shot, they get an H, you know how horse works. But it's more fun when it's a gun indoors.
Funny stories from the studio. The half of them I blocked. They're inappropriate, intense psychotherapy sessions could probably drag them out of me. The other half is just too many. There's too many stories. I can't single any of them out, because if we weren't recording something, we were laughing and doing extremely childish things. But that's typical in the studio, because what else is there to do but act like 12-year-old boys all the time.
How long has it been? Shane said you would know what this means. I actually don't know what this means. But I'm going to be real honest and candid in saying that it's been less than 24 hours since I've had Kraft macaroni and cheese. I'm not proud of it. I don't really want to talk about it. But, sorry. Thanks. Bye.
How long has it been? That is a fantastic question, and that is going to remain between me, Shane, Miles, and one other person that has to remain nameless. So, I can't answer that. It's a secret. Wrapping up, everybody should own this record. It's fantastic. And Shane is the best human being in the whole world. Truth.
All right, is it difficult to put out new music without touring?
No.
That was easy. Next question.
Touring is awesome, man. Like, touring is fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot with Hands and everything else, but it never really did anything to influence me musically. Like, touring didn't ever make me want to write, so it just felt like touring, like exploring and just playing the songs that we had, and then you'd take a break and write more and whatever else. So for me, it's just been all about like kind of just writing music and putting out records. So touring is kind of like the bonus that comes with it, and it'd be cool to do a tour with this band someday. But
yeah, definitely. If life allows.
If life allows. So, dad band.
Well, with that being said, because me as a musician, I'm curious as more like, for the record label and you working together to promote the album. So is there a different approach for like marketing, distribution, and promotion based off of like you guys not being able to tour as often as maybe a different band?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I feel like this band kind of has a built-in set of fans, like most bands. But what's cool is I feel like our fans don't really need us to tour. They're not really like, they kind of know that we're not going to do it. They kind of don't expect it. So kind of out of sight, out of mind there. And as far as like the marketing and distribution, I mean, distribution's the same. All the stuff with Face Down is the same, which is fantastic, and they are super generous for putting that into this for a band that's not touring. Yeah, I mean, probably just a little less money in trying to, I mean, you're not pumping money into buying us on tours and things like that. You know what I mean? That's really expensive. So we're not doing any of that. We're just kind of running ads here and there and trying to get the word out. For the most part, our fan base kind of gets the word out for us. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now that you're at KC, you've put together a herd of musicians for the Everything in Slow Motion live show.
Yeah.
Let's talk some more about that. So how'd you go about picking the KC members?
I just tried to find the most attractive dudes in town.
And yet I wasn't picked.
I don't know, just kind of friends through friends kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I knew, so I brought in Aaron Bickle, who you will meet here in a second. I've known Aaron forever, and he was a pretty obvious choice. And then through him, just kind of met the other guys and kind of felt really good about that. And then I put out this big, kind of message through some just kind of my little network of friends around town, even if I didn't really know the people so well. I put out this message to 20 different people, and I was like, hey, I just moved to Kansas City. I'm trying to put together a group to play. If you guys know anybody that would be interested, let me know, which always kind of sucks because you could end up with anybody.
Sure.
And most people that have been in a band or had a roommate for that matter, I feel like it's kind of the same thing. You could end up with people that you just, this is just not going to work. So that's a scary situation. And luckily through that, Aaron Crawford came about. So Aaron Crawford, previously of Flee the Scene, Kansas City Legends.
There he is.
So I knew Aaron here and there, but I'm sure we'll probably talk about that. So
Yeah, we'll get more in depth. So we're actually going to get the other guys in here, and then we'll get some more questions to hear their side of things. I feel like we're on Maury or something. Let's get their side. Okay.
And the lightning strikes down, down.
Yep.
Love grows cold.
Garth Brooks, hometown hero.
No.
Hometown hero.
Yeah, it's also.
It doesn't matter. He tried out for the Royals. He's hometown, guys.
Okay.
That's the one with the stick, right?
So we're back, and now we have the rest of the guys here from Everything in Slow Motion.
Yeah.
Say hey.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
So were you playing in other bands at the time, or is this just something that you were a musician, you're looking for a band, and then it just came up?
Yeah, I hadn't played in a band for a few years, so this was my first time
Back in
getting
action.
back.
Yeah,
The Bickle's back.
I'm kind of the same way. I think I haven't played in the band for longer even than Aaron, but the opportunity to play music with these guys was really exciting.
Cool.
Yeah, Michael and I are in a band called Now Sleepyhead together.
Right on. Yeah, I've seen you guys in KC before.
Yeah.
Rex Fest
Yeah.
2015.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
All right, so be honest about this. How many of you have actually heard of Everything in Slow Motion before Shane asked you to be in the band?
Oh, definitely, I have. I saw
Everyone?
That stuff.
I didn't even know who Shane was when he asked me.
There we
That's very
go.
true.
So we
That's
got
very
one.
true.
Who's this guy?
Jordan, had you heard of the band?
No, I hadn't actually.
Got you.
I think the
I
first
heard
time
of Hands.
you did.
Yeah,
Huh.
I
There you
followed
go.
Face Down a long time ago.
Interesting. I think the first time I asked Michael if he'd do it, he didn't know me that well, and his first response was, "Is Aaron Crawford doing it?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Okay, I'll do it."
He trusts you.
Yeah.
That's good. So I know that we're all excited to play the CD release show, and then Face Down Fest is literally like a week after that. Is that right?
Next weekend.
So, Aaron, question to you. So I know Fleet of Scene was on Face Down. Did you guys play Face Down Fest before?
10 years ago.
10
This will be my
years.
this will be
Of
my
a
10 year.
union.
Correct.
Your hair is
Nice.
a little smaller.
A little bit smaller, so no one will recognize me. Who's that old guy playing drums for that dad band?
It is a total dad.
They won't be able to see you behind me.
I know, right? I mean, you're one Twinkie over the other, buddy. I'm sorry.
What do you do? All right, so this question goes out to Aaron Bickel. So you've kind of been in the band just as long as Shane almost, with when you were part of the music video, co-star Shane.
Oh, hey.
Oh yeah. The
I
real
mean, not
video.
as long,
You
but
too.
second long.
Yeah.
I was just
I
percussion.
haven't seen
You
that.
might in
People
that
don't even
video.
know I'm in that video.
That was-
really
that
even
was
know
you?
the song when you
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I know
Yeah,
that's
people
you.
do.
Oh, I was
That's
beating the
awesome.
hell out of that.
People knew.
So you're awesome.
If you look
For
in
a
the
day, yeah. That's what I
so the red video for Everything in Slow Motion, if you look back to the right of the drummer, you will
in the
see-
shadows.
you will see a beast that is Jeremiah Todd,
playing a single
literally killing a 4-time.
Oh, you're about to release the second Everything in Slow Motion video. Can I say that?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Let's talk about it.
We're shooting a video Friday here in Kansas City.
I'm gonna
This
check my
Friday.
schedule.
This Friday.
So the week before the show.
The week before the show. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can give us as a sneak peek?
Nah, not really. I mean,
Damn.
we'll it'll be there. It's
All
gonna be
right.
rad though. We're doing it with a guy named Randy Edwards out
Lots
of
of rabbits.
Omaha. He's a good dude.
So I know that some of the older Everything in Slow Motion being of the heavier realm, I know some of you guys have probably played that before, but Aaron Bickel, knowing your background, how was palm eating and learning to chug?
Whole new world.
Whole new
Whole
world.
new world. Yeah.
The old days, Aaron and I played in bands all the time, played together, and I do not recall one time a chug was released.
Never chugged. Never once chugged. Yeah.
But recently at your first show, I saw it and it was happening. So it was a proud papa moment.
Yeah. Song.
That was a freaking boomer.
I love it. That was just totally hit you.
Damn. All right, go ahead. Your favorite song to play?
Favorite song to play is at this point probably Coma. because I don't know, that one just rips. Like that one just rocks. It's really fun to play.
Which one was that?
First song.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Favorite song, favorite everything in slow motion song is either the song Exosphere, which was off of the first Red EP, or the song Numbers off of Phoenix. So yeah, I don't know, for some reason those two stick with me. I'm really proud of those. So.
This was a question for Shane.
Fair to
Yeah, stay out of it, alright? Stay out.
All right.
That was pretty good.
So we're gonna get to know these guys even better with the game of Never Have I Ever.
Oof.
Stay tuned. All right, we're gonna explain the game very quickly. So, for an example, if I said, "Never have I ever drank 7,000 Mountain Dews in my life," then I would have to hold up, "I have."
That's legit. I believe you've done that.
I 100% have done that. All right, never have I ever sang to Limp Bizkit with the windows down.
Yeah. Totally.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Have you ever sang to Limp Bizkit with
Never.
the windows down? Oh,
Never?
my gosh. You ever heard the song Break Stuff?
It's just one of those days, man.
Oh, you don't
Think
ever
it's
want to
just
wake
go to
up. I never have I ever forgot to bring my instrument to my band's first practice.
What type of dumbass doesn't bring their instrument?
Well, some of mine do.
I'm sure I've done that before.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were behind me.
Never have I ever told a girl the first time I met her that I was going to marry her. Oh,
I don't know. No.
And I did.
you did, though.
And I did.
So
We're
that
coming up
works.
on 10 years of marriage.
Now we're talking 10 years.
10 years, man. June 17th.
That's when Fleet scene.
Yeah. Same face down fast.
I was-
It's all coming back around, man.
I was.
Where do you think they met?
Never have I ever wrote one of the best songs ever written called Toast to the Town. I haven't. Have you? Oh, you have. Check it out. I'm sure it's on Napster or
Wow.
Livewire,
Was
It's
it
on
Kazam?
mp3.com.
SoundCloud, maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's too new.
That's
Toast-
my profile
Toast to the
song on
town.
Zynga.
Is it on pure volume?
Could you
Oh,
sing,
yeah.
could you sing a little bit of
Yes,
Reverb Nation.
I don't remember.
Never have I ever asked for an ASL in a chat room. Definitely. Come on, hold it up.
Not that it really mattered.
I don't even know what that means.
Age, sex, location.
I don't know.
It's like AOL type, it's like
Yeah.
ICQ type of stuff.
Did you lie?
Oh, absolutely. I was like 14, going on 30.
Nice. Yes.
Never have I ever been asked by my friend's mom if dinner was all right and replied, "You bet your bosom." I have never.
Wow.
You have.
I have.
Where was that and why?
Wow. I was in Washburn, North Dakota in the If I Die days. We were at
What were you
breakfast.
thinking?
We were at breakfast with like we were all at the breakfast table with his mom and his dad. This is a member of her band, and I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, she asked how it was or something like that.
Yeah.
And I said, "You bet your bosom it is." And I had no idea what the bosom was. I thought it was like, I guess I don't know what I thought it was. And then right away, yeah, and then I found out right away, like two of my other guys were like, "Hey, come over here for a second, man." Come over for a second.
All right. Never have I ever been offered illegal substances from Macaulay Culkin. I think there's one of us.
Wow.
Where and when? Or can you say?
It was a long time.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So, never have I ever styled my hair to look like the singer of Coheed and Cambria.
You know, I had that hair before you did.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
we couldn't really get much on you. So
I know,
we were
right?
like, that was the best we got. So if that's the worst thing, it's not bad.
And if it's not like I've ever heard that before. Who's this maybe speak up Cody Cambria? Never heard of them.
And if people want to see that, where could they find that?
What, Cody Cambria?
Never heard of her.
Never have I eaten 6+ pounds of crab legs in one sitting.
I really love crab legs.
Sick. How many do you think you could eat?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. The place that we were at, it was in Daytona Beach, and they were like really good crab legs. And I started with the objective of I'm not going to stop until I can no longer do this.
Okay.
And I had to stop. It wasn't because I was full. It was because my fingers were pruned and like almost bleeding, and everything tasted like salt. I had been there for 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh my
You have a serious problem, man.
No, dude, I just really, really love crab legs.
All right. So, never have I ever taken a part in a talent show. I actually have.
Yeah.
High school?
Yeah. It was called the Variety Show.
Ooh, sounds fantastic.
And my rapcore Christian band played it,
What was their band's name?
and we were singing to all of our peers in high school that didn't like us. We were out there just on the front lines of Christianity.
I bet you were popular.
Let me try some of the lyrics. Let's take it to another level. I gotta say I ain't down with the devil.
Oh gosh.
Piece of advice, man, please change your ways. You're gonna pay your bills when it comes to Judgment Day.
I can't.
Oh!
Look at
So you have another drummer lined up, right?
We all bought Red New York hats. We were into it.
Yeah, I actually talked to Josh, and he said that you wore like a red hat because of Red Dirt.
Josh Silbernagel. Yeah. Hey, he had one too, so.
I didn't catch that, but he said you had one.
He had one.
No.
I think we all had one.
You were matching.
Yeah, so.
Never have I ever passed out at the dentist and got a concussion. I heard you actually passed out multiple times at a dentist's office.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Three
happened.
now.
The concussion.
The concussion, yeah.
Yeah. It all happened.
Did you wake up with it, or?
Yeah, I woke up and it was weird.
Were you like a root canal or something horrible, or just like a clean?
Yeah, I was getting something weird done the first time that it happened. I don't remember the second time. Third time.
That's probably not good.
The third time was the concussion time, and it was just like a checkup.
Just like open
I
wide.
don't know.
Let's get in there. Boom.
I just woke up, people all around me.
Oh. Never have I ever clogged up a toilet on the first date and overflowed it in my future wife's house.
It wasn't the first day.
Did you
Second
pass
day,
out in the
I
toilet?
would say. He passed out.
He was flossing
Yeah.
his teeth on the toilet.
Concussion.
All right, give us a little more detail without making us throw up.
Well, yeah, so it happened, and you're
That's probably
stuck.
enough
You're
detail.
stuck there.
Were you
and-
trying to clean it up?
Yeah, I'm trying to clean it up. I'm like, I got all the towels.
Were you-
He's using their towels, man.
Yeah,
Just her finest collection.
It wouldn't stop.
Yeah,
It leaked through the basement.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
So you actually destroyed the house?
Yeah, I just
That's
they burned the house.
That's grounds for just calling good, moving on.
Never have I ever stocked a tour bus at Outback Steakhouse thinking it might be Taylor Swift's.
No.
Oh, there he is. That was specific.
She was in town. I knew it was the moment I had to take the chance.
What were you gonna do if she like hopped
I
out,
don't
like
know.
tackle her, like
No.
Taylor, it's
Just
me.
pay my respects.
Talking to your family, guys, stay in the car.
Yeah.
Daddy's got to go over here
Just
for a
walk
minute.
over there.
business.
Eli, just go on the bus and see who's on there.
Yeah. I'm lost. Can you help me find my dad?
That's you saying that?
She answers the door. I just got back from the dentist, Aaron.
Just gotta use the toilet on the bus.
All right, last one. Never have I ever Made someone drive me and a friend in a minivan to a gravel road where we got picked up on four-wheelers and then dropped off at a farm 8 miles away and then made out with some girls and then walked back home hours later. We walked for miles in the dark. Then my dad, who'd been driving around looking for us for hours, found us walking on the interstate by a gas station and slammed on the brakes and said, "Get the hell in the truck!" Then he drove us home, grounded us, and didn't let us out of my room. So my dad grounded his son and someone else's son. Yeah.
Thanks for the true support, everybody.
So does that about sum it up?
That's pretty much everything that happened. Oh.
You have good friends.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, that like to share fun stories with me. I hope you found out something about everything in slow motion that you did not know. I sure did. And make sure to check out the new CD Lay Low, and then also make sure to come to the CD release show next week.
That's my one good eye.
We're out!